a thought, my friends.
Go on.
This thing is made of shadow, the very essence of unlife, and we have something that is the very essence of life. The Staff of Life. What if we were to use this to dispel the shadowy being before us?
It's worth a try. Give it a go.
And it is gone. Be no more, shadowy darkness, and let purity return to Lathander's temple.
Well done.
Thank you. I'd been thinking on that for quite a while. I don't know what the orb we have is for, but I'm sure its purpose will become clear in time. Now, my friends, let us press forward and find the Dark God. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play the Eye of the Beholder 3, Assault on Myth Drannor, and when last we left off, we've got rid of that shadowy apparition in the wall. It didn't take much thinking for me to conclude that I needed to use the Staff of Life on something that was entirely of unlife. And with that done, let's see if anything has changed. Something could have changed. If anything will change, it's likely going to be in one of these rooms. This hasn't changed, but this has. There's a door here. This door seems to be missing a piece. Perhaps this is where we use the orb. No, it does not fit. Maybe that shield that we got fits. Velendra?
I'll give it a try.
There.
And it reveals a teleporter.
My friends, I believe it may be time to face the Dark God. Yes, and I have a plan. We have a scroll somewhere. Which one is it?
Am I holding on to it? Yes, I am.
This will allow me to stop time temporarily. Wait, magic can do that? Yes, indeed, Sandstar. Powerful enough magicians can literally halt time, allowing them to perform many actions in the space of a moment. Unfortunately, I'm not powerful enough to be able to do it without this scroll. I have it learned, but my magical aptitude is nowhere near good enough. So you're going to use the scroll? If we are going to face the Dark God, yes.
Well, whatever is on the other side. Good luck, everyone.
We're not going to need it, Velendra. Let's go. Let's save before we do, though, because if anything bad's going to happen, it's going to be through a teleporter. Alright. If this is the final boss area, it's definitely telegraphed it enough, because you've had to go through a lot to get to here, and then sacrifice a really good-looking shield to open up the way. This has to be where the final boss is. You will fall for what you've done to Myth Drannor. Oh, we'll see about that. Oh, we're trapped. This is not good. We need to get out of here quickly and make a bit of space, for the Dark God is here, and the Dark God moves very fast and hits really, really hard, and has held Sandstar. Right, we need to get right next to the Dark God, and there we go. Time stop has been activated. And now, the Dark God can do nothing. And with that, Eye of the Beholder 3, Assault on Myth Drannor is over. The Dark God has been defeated, the portal to the realm of shadow was closed by Lathander, and the Dark God can never, ever return. And for a final boss, that was ridiculously easy. The Beholder in Eye of the Beholder 1 had a lot of power to it, but we had an item that helped us defeat him by using the scenery around us. Drannor was an exceptionally powerful foe. You'd think that the Dark God would have something to offer above what Drannor could do. Drannor could only really attack with some spells in his human form, and then with fireballs and attacks with his claws when he was in dragon form. But he had a lot of health, and he was really heavy hitting with his attacks. The Dark God in comparison, yes, he did have a few Death Knights and a few of those Shadow Wolves with him, which did make that aspect of the fight unique compared to the other final bosses, but otherwise the main thing he had going for him was that he was exceptionally fast, and the area that you fight him in is very large, meaning that he will get around to you and cast spells when you can't react. But one use of Time Stop ruined his plans completely, and allowed us to absolutely destroy him, and that really shouldn't have been allowed to happen. The Dark God literally was a divine figure. And yet Time Stop, well, we're just going to fire loads of things at you and you'll die. We had multiple Time Stop scrolls given to us throughout the game. We had one that Rune used to learn in his spellbook, we had one for Beganius, and we still had one left over. Had we have not scribed any of them, we'd have had the ability to kill the Dark God with ease 3 times over. And man, all of the resources that we did not end up using. I was actually using some of my wands near the end, and we still have so many, and we have so many scrolls, and we have so many potions. To be fair, we've imported characters all the way from the first game, so it's to be expected that we'll have a few more resources than somebody who started in this game. But man, did we not need those resources most of the time through Eye of the Beholder 3. Eye of the Beholder 3, in conclusion, is not as good as 2. Not by a long shot, actually. I'd say that Eye of the Beholder 2 is far superior. The graphics are better, the plot is better, the music is better, and the gameplay is just more solid. Yes, there are more difficult enemies in Eye of the Beholder 3, but Eye of the Beholder 3 just feels a bit hollow compared to what came before. There's something missing from the whole experience. There is, of course, the increase in threat. You're fighting a Dark God, as opposed to fighting the leader of the Temple Darkmoon, who ended up being a dragon. Sorry if you haven't watched me play the second game, but I did already mention, to be fair, that Drannor was a dragon. There's just something not there, and people, when they were reviewing this game, they felt that as well. They believed that this game was inferior to Eye of the Beholder 2, and inferior to Lands of Lore that came out in the same year, as I said before. And I have to agree with them. This game is not as good as 2. Is it enjoyable? It is still enjoyable, but it could have been so much more. And yet it wasn't, and that's a shame. There's a element of missed opportunity in this being the crowning moment in the series. Instead, the previous game is that, and this is sort of a disappointing end. It was still great fun, and I had loads of fun playing through the game and seeing the continuation of the story of Velendra and the party. But that story is now over, for there is no Eye of the Beholder 4. There was an Eye of the Beholder game on the Game Boy Advance, but it is not in the same timeline as this series. You don't have a final save that you export from this game to an Eye of the Beholder 4, because I'm pretty sure that SSI knew that there was never going to be an Eye of the Beholder 4. Gaming was moving away from 2D dungeon crawlers. Lands of Lore 2 was a 2.5D game, much like Realms of the Haunting, a 3D environment with 2D sprites for the enemies, and other games were taking the leap completely into 3D. it wouldn't be for a very long time before dungeon crawlers like this made some form of a comeback. They were around on some handheld consoles, and then you had Legend of Grimrock, which most certainly reminded people that this kind of game exists, and Legend of Grimrock is a great game. But Eye of the Beholder was pretty much the final hurrah, along with Lands of Lore, for this style of game. And Lands of Lore Throne of Chaos is definitely a better final hurrah. It is just more polished and just better in every way. But this game was still very enjoyable, and I have no regrets playing Eye of the Beholder 3 Assault on Myth Drannor. I'm happy to have finished the story, and leaving our group where they are at the end of that final cutscene is a great ending. Them now Knights of Myth Drannor, with the hopes that they can restore the city to its previous splendour. I think that's a great end when you compare it to the humble beginnings of the group when they descended into the sewers of Waterdeep oh so long ago, hoping to rid the city of a strange evil that was threatening to overcome it. And then they went to the Temple Darkmoon and dealt with Drandragor, and finally went to Myth Drannor and dealt with the Dark God, saving the entire of Faerun. For who knows, as Lathander said, what would happen if that portal had been allowed to remain for much longer. So in conclusion, Eye of the Beholder 3 Assault on Myth Drannor, definitely not as good as Lands of Lore. There are just so many things missing. The lack of music at this point, when you have Lands of Lore in comparison, is telling, and it was mostly replaced by the repeated sounds of the enemies. And some of those sounds did get grating after a while. There were some minor improvements to gameplay, but again, Lands of Lore did it better, having a different magic system and characters that talked in a way that gave them defined personality. Lands of Lore, to be fair, had a lot going for it because of the fact that the characters were already set in stone. Kieran was Kieran, Timothy was Timothy, Bakata was Bakata, and they already have personalities, but that also allows you to have pre-written dialogue for each character. And when the CD version came out, it allowed them to do voice acting, something that this game could have done. At least with the cutscenes, that would have been quite neat, but this game is a game of missed opportunities. Still enjoyable, as I said, though, and if you've played Eye of the Beholder 1 and 2, I would encourage you to play Eye of the Beholder 3 and complete your saga. Unfortunately, you should temper your expectations and know that you're going into a somewhat inferior experience compared to the Temple of Darkmoon experience. But it's still fun. If you go in with the mindset of knowing that it's not going to be as good, but still intending to have fun, you will have fun, like I did. The puzzles are a lot more forgiving in this game. That is one thing I will say in this game's favour. The puzzles are far less, hey, you're just gonna die, and more, well, you can actually figure this out if you're just sensible and don't rush into things. That is a plus. But there are far more negatives that weigh out the pluses. And so, that was Eye of the Beholder 3 Assault on Myth Drannor. What's to come next? I have no idea. But one thing's for sure, it's not going to have Rune and Sandstar and everyone else in it. Their adventure is over. I'll certainly miss them, but all good things must come to an end. And so, I'm Kikoskia, and that was Let's Play Eye of the Beholder 3 Assault on Myth Drannor. And when we come back, folks, I guarantee it won't be a dungeon crawler, and it's very unlikely to be in the D&D setting. We don't want to go from a D&D game to another D&D game when we're already playing another D&D game after all. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. So, we finally did it. The Dark God has been defeated. Yes, indeed. We all did very well, my friends. Wait. Did you call us your friends? No. You did. Everyone heard that. You heard it, didn't you? I certainly did. You cannot deny it, Sandstar. Oh, fine. What if I did? It's taken you all that time to concede that, Sandstar.
Why?
Well,
It's okay. You don't have to say anything. I understand.
no, you've always been my friends. I just didn't want to tell you because you think I was being silly.
Oh, Sandstar, you're not being silly.
I'm not?
No. You've always been our friend too.
Really?
Even when you've done silly things, and trust me, you've done quite a few of them, we've always known that we've been able to rely on you.
Really?
Of course. You're an essential part of the team, and you can get that in writing, Sandstar. It's true.
Really?
Indeed it is, Sandstar. We would not be here were it not for you.
Coming from you, Velendra, that's really humbling. Thank you.
The codex of the plains was not here. Does that mean that you'll be leaving our company, Rex? I'm afraid so, but not just yet. I can help you restore Myth Drannor for a little while. Tabitha, I have much to do here. Myth Drannor is a ruin, and it must be restored to its former splendor, a place where all can live in peace. And I would be honored if I could do that with you, as a knight of Myth Drannor. Of course you can. You've saved Myth Drannor. You are as worthy of that title as everyone else here. Then I would be honored.
So, our adventuring is finally over. We will be here forever.
Oh no, Sandstar. Our adventures aren't over.
No?
They've only just begun.
Yes, you're right, they have, but... Wait. Oh no! No! I ruined it!
Ruined what?
He was right there! Lathander was right there, and I didn't ask him!
Ask him?
About the upside-down egg stew! I could have asked him, and that was my only chance, and I blew it! Oh no! What's so funny, Rex? That is the only thing you are concerned about? We have defeated a god. Yes, but I'll never know. That's going to haunt me in my dreams forever. I could have asked him.
Oh, Sandstar, never change.
This is not funny. I could have asked him. I could have asked the gods, but no. No, I had to think about defeating the dark god, and Oh, it's ruined everything now.
Where are you going, Sandstar?
I'm going over here to sulk.
Sandstar, don't be like that. We're going to celebrate.
Nope, not celebrating.
We were going to invite everybody from the other adventures over too to celebrate with us.
Nope, can't celebrate. Don't know the recipe for upside-down egg stew, and I never will now. This is the worst end to an adventure ever.
Is he going to be all right? He'll be all right eventually, Tabitha. Give him a bit.
I heard that. I'm never going to be all right.
Give him a while, actually. Let's just go. There's an area there that we can rest. I do feel tired. This adventure has been a long one. We're going over here, Sandstar, when you stop sulking.
Now I'll never know the secret. I should have thought of that. Well, maybe I can go on another adventure. Yes, an adventure to figure out the secret recipe of upside-down egg stew. It'll be brilliant. It'll be full of daring do and dangerous endeavours. What do you think, guys? Where did you go? Come back! I wasn't serious about sulking. Come back!